With these opportunity funds, can you let the people know how they can start an opportunity fund if they wanted to get that started? What the requirements would be?
Yes, most definitely. To open up a qualified opportunity fund, all it is as simple as filling out a form when you are turning in your taxes. To start a qualified opportunity fund, it's as simple as turning in a 8996 form when you fill out your taxes. All you got to do is go on Google, type in 8996 form. You can leave it like that, or you can put IRS at the end of it, and it'll take it right to you. That's the amazing thing about Google, right? You take little particular keywords, put it in there, and you know what I'm saying, it'll pull up. Now sometimes you might have to go through a few things, or you might have to go a few pages, but it's there. So turn in the 8996 form when you turn in your taxes, when you do your taxes, and you know, from there it's decided whether or not you are applied or not for it, whether you're accepted or rather for it, and you know, you go from there. And you reach out to people, you know, get it started. Reach out to people to deposit it in, and it's the win.
Imperative information for people who want to actually get something going. I'm actually sitting here learning, so.
You know, and those people may not even want to start an opportunity fund. You may want to get involved with a CDC, the Community Development Corporation. You may want to start your own. You may want to join some that are out here. Like I said, I'm an advocate of the one in West Savannah with Ivory Bay. I believe there's another one over on the east side because there's a lot of revitalization going on. There was a plan put in place in Savannah that a lot of people don't know about. Is that there's a move to have no slums in Savannah by 3033. Meaning all the projects won't be projects anymore. They won't look like that. That's why we see, you know, the New Hitch Village that came up. We saw the refurbishing of Fred Wessels, that's Riverside. See what's going on in Blackshear. Like, we understand that the mindset in which you raise, the conditions in which you raise is going to put a particular effect on how you think. If I walk into a projects that look like the projects, then I'm going to feel like I'm just a project. But if I walk into, you know what I'm saying, some assisted living homes that look like an apartment complex that I'm going to see on the south side, my mindset is a little different. Oh, my worth is a little more. I live in a nice house. You know, I got friends who are from Philly that look at our projects even now and be like, boy, these isn't not projects.
Right.
It look like the suburbs, like y'all tripping.
Philadelphia, it looks way worse.
Way worse.
Seriously.
So, you know, we got to take those things in advantage. I personally believe that a lot of the things that we put ourselves into is really, at this point in time, self-inflicted. 40s, 50s, 60s, when the white hoods is riding around doing all the crazy stuff. Yeah, you know, now it ain't the white hoods. You know what I'm saying? It's us in our hoods, you know, doing a lot of the crazy stuff instead of saying, because, like, I'm going to be real. And these white folks are scared.
Yeah.
Like, they know. Like, they really know. Like, right now, do you know why all these changes that are happening since George Floyd is happening? It's because they actually mobilized the street armies, and they're like, oh, they about to burn it down. They done got fed up, you know. This is 100 years after Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? Oh crap, what are we gonna do? We're gonna give them whatever they want.
Right.
You know? So, you know, now's the time for us to mobilize, take everything that's on the table, opportunity zones, trade deals, Prosper Africa, the right to abode, and the push for Africa to do more trade with the black communities. It's our time right now, right after coronavirus. We just got showed, you feel me? We're in America, home of Charmin, and we ain't got no shit paper. Like, people are fighting over tissue on the shelves.
Right.
International paper is here in Savannah and down the street in Riceboro. And we ain't got no shit paper. So we as black people should be like, all right, you know what? I think we need a tissue factory.
Right.
You know? I think we need a water factory. I think we need to be, because now, you know what I'm saying, like him or not, you got a crazy ass dude in office who's like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna make America great again. And that means we about to start making stuff here. But make stuff here? Who get to make stuff here? I don't give a damn who he is. Just open the business and hire people. I'm gonna check you on that. Hey nigga, y'all niggas, what y'all trying to put y'all money in? Y'all want to build guns? Y'all want to make some tissue? Like, what's gonna happen? Because this dude is saying, hey, we about to make stuff back here. I don't give a fuck about none of the other shit he's talking about. Nigga, we can start a warehouse. We can start production. Nigga, do you know what that means? And then 6 months later, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Africa won't. They're begging to do business with the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of African countries are just finding out what we went through. A lot of them just did not know what happened over here. So now they're finding out, and they're like, I'm sorry, cuz I didn't know.
They still even see. My husband is from West Africa. He's been here for 5 years. And this is something we've all talked about before, but he's just starting to, understand it. We have had arguments, like literally, like full on debates about, this stuff happening. And he would have the mentality like police brutality isn't a real thing. He was like, if they stop you and you just adhere to what they're doing, they won't do anything to you. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? Like,
sometimes, but not all the time. Right. Not all the time.
We've debated over it, and and now he's starting to get a better sense and understanding of it. And even my in-laws are starting to get a better sense and understanding of it. It's true, they just had no idea.
They had no idea.
And it comes from like what you spoke about earlier, in that mentality of kind of what you see. Like when you gave the example of a project, if you're going into a project and that's what you see, that becomes the mentality of things. So with that, like the things that happened in the 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, those people who endured that were our parents and our grandparents. They taught us certain things. Me personally, I was always very, academically inclined, but the whole thing is that my parents always kept me sheltered. It became almost like a fear factor, right? And I didn't understand it. I only know what I was being taught. Like, no, you can't go over here. You can't do these things. No. So for some people, it became very much like,
for most people,
for some people, it's just
parents, yeah.
But for some people, it becomes the things to where they put these barriers around their child to say, this is the only way I know how to protect you, right? And so even though academically I was very successful and I love doing book reports and all those other things, there became so many other personal things that I had to deal with, and it became me trying to figure out how to live life like the normal person.
Right.
So then when it became to that age, and from 20s until roughly right up before 30, I'm spending all of my 20s trying to figure out, how do I just do life normally? How do I heal myself? How do I repair myself? How do I understand about these things? So then when it becomes, so if you came and said this to me at 25, like, this is what you can do, then I would have said, oh, okay, I wouldn't have known anything about that, right? So that's why I asked you earlier, for some things I do feel like it's a lack of, laziness for some people, because I've seen people who are like, bro, I don't want to do that. Like, I want somebody to give it to me, but I also know from my experience, from people who have dealt with trauma or, things like that, they just don't know. And it's not because we don't research. I tell Sean this all the time, I love learning, I love researching, I love talking about things, I love getting to know, right? And so when it comes to that, it's like, I don't know what avenue to pour into. I don't know if I didn't speak to you, if I didn't, speak out and do all these things, I wouldn't have known, because I wouldn't have known what to be looking for, or even where to start. You know what I'm saying? What to start looking for, what to start researching. I could see all this stuff, but sometimes terms are foreign, even when we understand the words that are behind it, right? So I think that's very important.